Ugh. Another dude's opinion on dating, and he ain't even in the dating game. So, so what? I was a bachelor, so I know some shit. Well, this video is about first dates specifically. Shout out to Antoria Norris and her Facebook post. She says, I used to think that first dates were meant to establish interest, test the chemistry, see if you mesh. I missed the memo that women should have all this figured out before the date because now men fully expect sex on the first date. They believe this so firmly that they are using podcasts to explain to women that if they are not ready to have sex, that they should not accept dates. They say this out loud. What are your thoughts? Well, I'm going to give my thoughts, obviously. I'm going to give my totally subjective perspective on what first dates should be as far as expectations and outcome. Be sure to get off in the comments and share your perspective. Like, share, and of course, subscribe. Help a bruh get these subscribers and views up. And without further ado, let's go. All right, so off top, I'm going to address some men's ridiculous expectations. Any man expecting sex on the first date is simply ridiculous. And I don't believe most men expect sex on the first date. Now, I could be wrong. I haven't dated men since ever a day in my life, so I can't say I know based on being subject to a man's expectations. The men in my circle and those I've conversed with in my life have not shared this idea. Now, a lot of people have thrown Kevin Samuels under the bus for this idea. What he said, if I remember correctly, is that women shouldn't go on dates with men they are not sexually attracted to. He didn't specify first dates. I'm assuming the context was in regard to continuous dates. That is not the same as saying a woman shouldn't accept dates unless they are willing to have sex. Now, if I'm wrong about the late Kevin Samuels quote, somebody can correct me, but in any case, I can see that particular thought as somewhat reasonable. However, that's not exactly my thought. My thought is that people in general, including women obviously, should not be going on dates with people they are not genuinely interested in. I think, and again, I could be wrong, that a lot of times women might not be all that interested in a guy from jump. But if a guy has been expressing interest, a lot of women will simply give him a chance. And you know how y'all dudes do. Y'all slide in the DM. Sometimes y'all been talking to yourself for a couple of weeks or months. Good morning, beautiful in this woman to death, to the point where she finally gives in. Or let's say you made a match on a dating app and the conversation might be lackluster, but she still agrees to meet up. Or you both meet organically, yet there's not much that goes on in between that exchange of contact information and the first date. Now, ladies, if you're not feeling that man from some of those early interactions, those early conversations, that's okay. What's not okay is going on a date knowing you ain't feeling that dude. If you're on the fence and not sure, that's okay. But pay attention to this. If he can't at least make a phone call to set some sort of tone, you do not need to meet up. Unless you just like winging it, or his text game is just so on point to the point where you're really actually interested. Fellas, make the call. Pick up the phone and make the call. We don't wait on women to call us. We set the tone. Now, ladies, y'all gotta be available for the call. But fellas, this is our time to shine. See, I come from the era of making the call. During the phone call, you establish some sort of rapport. I know y'all might be thinking right now, dude, just get to the point of the pod, first date expectations and outcomes. But look, just hear me out. See, where a lot of y'all are going wrong is that there's nothing aside from initial contact prior to the first date. This is why I'm saying make the call. Get your ass on the phone and see if y'all can even have an enjoyable conversation. Ask that woman some open-ended questions. Most women love to talk, so let her talk. You listen and play off that. She's going to ask you some questions about yourself and your interests, and at this point, y'all are literally getting to know each other. Now, fellas, this is where social skills are important. The ability to articulate who you are and what you're interested in through verbal expression is vital. If you can't do that naturally, take a course, get some coaching or some classes. I'll do it for a fee, but this is the foundation, okay? Now, gentlemen, don't be on the phone asking shit like what you doing, and when she says in the bed, you come back with that corny ass, I wish I was there, or what else is dumb shit? You need some company, or you can do that over here. No, bro. No. We ain't there. Say something in regards to her need for beauty rest. Some cheesy attempt at a subtle compliment, and confirm whether or not she's up for talking at that time. Be sure you're kind of like not interrupting. If she says something like, I'm in the bed or getting ready for sleep, if you ask what she's doing, she's at least thinking that you're considerate of her present circumstances, and your cheesy compliment might make her blush. I mean, who knows? It's going to be kind of obvious, but your goal is to break the ice and establish a rapport so that the first date doesn't require the ice to be broken, and y'all already have a comfort zone based on said established rapport from prior conversations. Question like, what's your favorite movie or music genre? What's the last book you read? What kind of foods do you eat? You can even be slick and ask her what her go-to dish is as far as cooking. See, that's how you can figure out if she's into cooking or at least can cook without sounding like one of these social media angry dudes complaining about women not cooking no more. Come on, man. And if at some point you can make this woman laugh and get a smile through the phone, you're on a roll. Now she's looking forward to, at minimum, some good conversation during the first date. That leads me to first date expectations. The expectations should be simple. Enjoying the company of the person you're interested in and confirming mutual physical and personality attraction. It's that simple. What my girl Lauryn Hill said, it could all be so simple, but we try to make it hard. Some shit like that. Y'all, that's it. Y'all get what I'm saying. Enjoying the company of the person you're interested in and confirming mutual attraction. I know many of you gentlemen might lack experience when it comes to putting in a little work, but this shit didn't even fly when I was young. I hated when my boy Sam would try to hit up a young lady back in the day, and he ain't put in no work. We'd go out on a weekend and get some numbers. By the following weekend, we should at least have put in enough work to where she's interested in linking up, right? So I call this dude to see what he's doing, or he calls me, and I got something lined up because I done put in some work. He then, on the day of, on that Friday evening, just now trying to call the young lady to see if she want to do something. Boy, she don't even know you. That's a lot of y'all grown men. Y'all get the contact, but don't establish anything and think that as long as y'all meet up, it's gonna pop off. Y'all are gonna meet and the magic's just gonna happen. It's possible, but establishing a rapport makes it more probable. And we as men, we don't deal in possibility. We deal in probability. For the gentlemen that understand all this, I'm preaching to the choir. But I hope it's some cats that might not have ever heard this and it makes sense. This has been my experience and what has worked for me and so many others. Essentially, she should like you before she even meets you. Now let's talk about the outcome of the first date. The expected outcome should not be sex. And I don't think that's the case for experienced men or most experienced men. I could be wrong. But the expected outcome should be that mutual interest is abundant and obvious and that there is now genuine chemistry. This should be all to the point that you both want to see each other again. I can't tell y'all what dollar amount is that you should spend. No, I do not believe in Dutch dates or first date that don't cost money or men not spending money on first dates. Those are my beliefs. But if you find a woman that agrees with whatever your idea is about spending, that's good. That's one of those things that can be established before y'all meet. Every first date that I've been on that tanked was because we were both willing to meet up without ever really having a decent conversation. Some people don't want to spend too much time getting to know somebody before the first date for fear of the letdown once they have the first in-person encounter. And with the way these pics, filters, angles, and all that work, I get it. The last thing you want to do is actually like a person, then not be physically attracted to the in-person version of the person. In any case, do what works for you. But if something ain't working, it might be time to switch it up. But in my not so humble opinion, there should be no expectations of sex on a first date. If the vibe is that powerful and it happens, salute to y'all. If that is what you want as a man, you can indeed make that happen. They're called escorts. There's an understanding y'all can come to. Just have your coins stacked up. Anywho, that's all I got. Be sure to get off in them comments and share your perspective. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. I'll see y'all next time.